Hello, Zoheb. Welcome to Head Start Learning Academy. Today,
Hello.
I have requested you to share with me and which I can convey to the Gen Next and the present breed of educators as well as young parents that what does the changing landscape in education mean to you, especially as a young man and a young father of a 9-month-old son. How do you see the system of education, how it has changed when you passed out? And how are you planning along with your wife, Seema, that let us prepare our son in this particular way with all the changes? We want your opinion on this changing landscape in education. Over to you, Zoe.
Thank you so much for having me over. Well, a very current topic that we can all ponder upon and discuss about how the education field has rapidly changed or maybe updated itself uh, in the last, let's say, 10 years, and especially in the last 5 years after what the curse of COVID-19 happened, and how education system, we might say the word, revolutionized itself. How we were thinking that how we will educate the entire mass, and especially in a country like India. But I think in the past 3 to 5 years, we have seen how technology, how digitalization has really helped us. But today, after having now 3 years of experience, uh, I would really like to say that the changing landscape in education has made all of us, even the educators, even the teaching fraternity, not just the teaching fraternity, but I believe whoever is in the field where they need to educate people or where they need to update people in any field these days, you need updation in knowledge. So it's very, very important that we know how to take the best of both the worlds. And the new crop of people, as I'd say now, I think it's been 10 years since me also that I have left. I have graduated from the school, and now after 10 years, I think I have a fair say or might have a fair experience of how I see people as freshers who join a completely new world, and how the people who are actually studying these days with the involvement and interaction with the new gen. I would say that technology is a very, very, very big part to play in these days. But then, as someone said, that we should have a balanced diet in our day-to-day life with respect
Meals,
to food.
right?
I would say we should have a balance of technology, a balance of offline learning in our education system. I believe in the past 3 years, a lot of online education maybe has disrupted the entire education field. So I think we need to take a step back, realize how we can actually have a balanced atmosphere or an ecosystem where both of these offline and online learning can coexist. I would like to give an example of, let's say, when I used to go to school, right? For me to take an education or maybe to learn about a new subject, we had to be physically present in that
Right.
class. Even if we missed one class, that continuation process or that chain used to break. If I missed one class, let's say. Nowadays, everything is available online. I don't need to go physically to a school. But then that also gives me freedom of getting laid back. Oh, I have always available, I can study anytime. That sense of urgency that I should not miss a class, I think has dissolved a bit. That is my personal experience. But then, as I suggested earlier, the online and offline world has to coexist. And with the technology that we have these days, we can only go forward. There is no backward these days. So the online and offline systems have to be in good amalgamation for each other, so that the best of both the worlds, the present child, like as you had said about my son or about our son, Seema and I, Zoran, what we would like to inculcate or what we would like Zoran to grow up and how he grows up. I would actually personally like Zoran to be technologically advanced,
Right.
but not forget the roots. Like we can say, oh, these days everything is so digital, we are saving the environment by not having books, no trees are being cut. But there is a very minute process called information, and there is something called knowledge. These days, we have tons and tons of data to support information. But what it is up to us how we make that information flow into knowledge. So, again, coming to offline and online, if I have always something readily available with me as a hard copy of a textbook, let's say, I would suggest, even in my case, still during anything, a presentation or something, I absolutely find it so convenient for everything to have a soft copy on my phone or on a laptop. But then, even today, if I have to go present something or if I have to go run through some figures, I would still like a physical copy in my hand where those numbers, those uh, those lines that I need to rehearse on, that piece of information will turn into my knowledge if I actually read it through again and again, instead of just maybe staring at a screen or maybe reading from. So I think the coexisting space of online and offline, I really believe that there are some educators or maybe some tech founders who actually make something like that where they can have best of both the worlds, so that children of this generation, including my child, can have the best education and can prosper in a very organic way.
It's very well said. So you will agree that what I can just summarize two into is that yes, blended learning and or hybrid learning should be the call of the day. I would like to know your opinion. Can technology, all the technological classes, the digital learning, replace a mentor or a teacher?
Absolutely not. Well, so education is not an industrial field where we can actually just replace a teacher or a mentor or an educator just by a machine, because even the teacher grows by teaching students,
Absolutely.
right? It is not just the child who is actually learning. A teacher will learn because a teacher will not be used to, or teacher might not actually comprehend what a child is going to ask. As we have seen over a long range of movies now, that every child is unique, right? So you never know that what that child or what that particular person might come up with a counter question or a learning question or something that he's not getting. So I can't even imagine uh, a teacher being completely replaced. No, a teacher can be substituted for a little while. If the teacher is not available, he or
What to
she can be substituted,
substitute?
but not replaced by any tech.
So
Otherwise, that tech also has to be very, very, very art of the state of the art. They have to be really good. But I still think that there has nothing been made which can actually replace a conscious human mind. So
artificial intelligence will be still in the hands of the human hands, right?
it has to, because who has made
That's
artificial intelligence? A human only, right?
right.
So
We should not let that overpower our minds, our thought process,
absolutely not. We should not just let a
creativity,
child be independent. Yes.
and our
Uh,
creativity, right? So, very well said. And what do you think that who is a teacher?
a teacher.
Definition of a teacher. Though definitions and rote memory is absolutely out, but in your words, who can be or who is a teacher?
I
Who
think
all are
everyone in
teachers?
daily life is a teacher. Anyone who can teach anything is a teacher.
Right.
We can't normalize like a person who teaches in a school, or a person who basically in a college might be a teacher, or might be a lecturer, might be a professor. Anyone who can teach something valuable, I
So we
believe,
all should be ready to learn,
the teacher.
right? And as you can
Everyone
see
should
in
be
my
ready to learn.
background,
Yes.
that learning and teaching, we have to have it go hand in hand. So learned a lot from you today, Zoheb. Thank you so much. And I'm
My pleasure.
sure all the youngsters and the young parents will be very happy to hear you that the changing landscape in education is just a mindset, and we should be ready to accept change or change, because change is the only constant. God bless you, and I hope and pray that your son, under the guidance of all your family members, and especially you both as parents, Seema and you, just grows and blossoms into a great learner and later a teacher. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
Zoheb,
much.
and take care. God bless you.